Dear students, today we are going to study about a nickel cadmium battery and its technology. The nickel cadmium battery is a form of a rechargeable battery that has been used for many years. It was easy to use, but now poses problems to dispose because of issue with the cadmium it contains. The nickel cadmium battery was the first type of a rechargeable cell that could be used for portable electronics equipment. Although the lead acid battery had been available for many years, it was mainly used for automotive batteries. The nickel cadmium could easily be used as a direct replacement for many standard primary batteries, and its use quickly caught on. Nickel cadmium cells are less widely used these days because of a cadmium they contain. The cells or batteries need to be disposed of via the correct route, as the cadmium is a harmful and can ultimately leach out into the ground if found in a landfill. Currently, few nickel cadmium batteries can be bought, but did fill a gap in the market that no other battery of the time could meet. Occasionally, old nickel cadmium batteries can still be found in a stock or possibly even used. Nickel cadmium versus NiCad. Often the abbreviation of a nickel cadmium is used to describe nickel cadmium cells. The abbreviation NiCad is also widely used. The abbreviation NiCad is a registered trademark of SAFT Corporation, a manufacturer of batteries and power sources. Therefore, the abbreviation NiCad should not be used to refer generically to nickel cadmium batteries, only to those manufactured by SAFT. Nickel cadmium basics. Nickel cadmium or NiCad cells are able to provide an almost direct replacement for zinc carbon or alkaline primary batteries. They generally are able to release charge than these cells, but have the obvious advantage that they are able to be recharged. This means that although the initial purchase cost is higher than the equivalent primary cells, cost can be saved after a few charge or discharge cycles. The nominal cell voltage for nickel cadmium cell is 1.2 volts. It holds this voltage well for most of the discharge cycle, only falling when most of the charge has been used. It holds the output voltage better than the equivalent zinc carbon primary types, which have a steady fall over the life of the cell. Whilst a flat curve shows the advantage that the output voltage from the cell is very stable, it does mean that when the cell nears the end of its discharge cycle, the output voltage falls off rapidly, often giving a little warning to the users. Nickel cadmium cell have a very low level of internal resistance. A good quality alkaline cell might have an internal resistance of about 300 milliohms when new. This figure might rise to about 900 milliohms when 20% discharged and several ohms when almost completely discharged. A nickel cadmium has a very much lower figure, and any internal resistance can be ignored for most purposes, as it is of the order of only a few milliohms. Dependent on the exact type of a cell and the manufacturer, this does means that the cell is capable of producing very high current, especially if the cell is accidentally short-circuited. In view of this, care must be taken to ensure this does not happen, as large amount of heat can be generated. Construction of a nickel-cadmium cell. Nickel-cadmium cell consists of four main elements. Anode. This comprises a net that is cadmium plated. Cathode. The cathode electrode of the nickel-cadmium cell is a mesh that is a nickel plated. Separator. The separator is used to ensure that the anode and a cathode do not touch physically and cause a short circuit. Electrolyte. The electrolyte serves to carry the ions and charge carriers between the anode and a cathode. It can be either potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. Of the two, potassium hydroxide conducts better, but sodium hydroxide does not leak as much. In the discharge state, the positive active material is consists of a nickel hydroxide and the negative material is a cadmium hydroxide. During charging, these convert to nickel hydroxide and cadmium together with some water. Although the separator does not take place in the reaction, it serves to insulate between the plates. An electrolyte is also needed. Potassium hydroxide is used for this. This does not participate in the reaction, but enables electron transfer to take place between the two plates. Nickel-cadmium cell sizes. Nickel-cadmium cell can be obtained in a variety of sizes, and often special nickel-cadmium battery pack may be manufactured for particular item of electronic equipment. However, the most popular nickel-cadmium cells are those in the standard battery or cell sizes are AAA, AA, C and D cells package. These standard sizes for these are given below, although it has occasionally been found that some nickel-cadmiums have exceeded these sizes, making fitment to standard slots rather tight. Precautions to ensure long life of a nickel-cadmium battery. There are a number of precautions that can be observed to help extend the life of a nickel-cadmium batteries. Do not short circuit the cells, as very large current can be drawn. This can be dangerous as larger amount of heat can be generated. It is also advisable not to discharge the cell at very high rates. Never over-recharge the cells at a rate greater than or equal to their normal charging current. Trickle charging is permissible. Never reverse charge the cells. This can occur when a battery consisting of several cells in a series is completely discharged, as some cells will hold less charge than the rest. As the total battery becomes discharged, some cells will put into the reverse charge situation. Never discard cells in a fire. Cells operate best under normal room temperature conditions. High and a low temperature reduce their effectiveness. High temperatures can cause permanent damage to the cell.